Well, hello there, guys and gals. We have yet another unplanned episode. Yep, the old mullet machine. I skipped through a few steps because this wasn't an intended type video. So it decided, you know, I talk to my cars. I don't know if you talk to your cars or not, but talking to them seems to work. I mean, I said, guys, I know you're older. You're just like me. You're older. You're going to break down, and eventually, you know, you're going to need a little oven, and that's fine. Try to break down at the house, or at least get me home. Mullet machine broke down in the garage, right there. Yeah, he's still waiting on a part. The cons of owning a foreign car, like a Mini Cooper, Brian. Anyway, so back to this. I went to go move it so he could get his car in and work on it, because you know it's winter here in Ohio, and it's not like Florida winters. That's all I'm getting at. Anyway, so we go to start it, no spark, none. So we did the logical thing and did no testing whatsoever, and what we found was an original coil. You know, an original coil with the rivets still on it. We ground those off, we knocked it out of there, put a coil on it. Now mind you, I have still done no testing because I really don't have time for testing. I need to get this car out so that car can come in. Well, as you can see, they're both still in here. I haven't messed with this one because, you know, that one and, you know, Toby out there. Anyway, so sometimes it's just gonna take a deep breath for no reason. I decided that since the coil didn't make a spark, we did do one test. We took the coil wire off and we hooked a spark plug tester or spark tester in from here to the coil, and we got absolutely nothing. Put the coil on it, did the exact same test, absolutely nothing. Well, what's the next step down? Control module, right in there. They're known for going out, you know, these little fellas right there. And being that this car has actually been maintained as far as, you know, cap, rotor button, stuff like that, we're not really that worried that the rotor button burnt through. We're just not. I've got no real logic or reason for that. We're not really that worried about it, is all I'm gonna say. Anyway, put the control module on it, or pickup coil, whatever you want to call it. Same difference. Nothing. No spark. Which, you guys just saw it. Leads me to the last and absolute fail point. The whole distributor. You see that guy in there? That's your magnetic pickup that sends the spark and makes it go and do all kind of great things. Now we did have power going to our coil on one end. On the other, I'm not sure. Because I think what happens is one of these sides comes from the computer, one comes from the coil or something. I'm not really sure, I didn't really look. But anyway, guys, I do know that these things fail a heck of a lot. I've replaced quite a few of these GM distributors because of the pickup inside of here. That guy, not that guy, but I've replaced a lot of that one too. But yeah, this guy right here usually goes bad. This was actually really affordable anymore. That was like 88 bucks or something. It's a Cardone, I think. Wherever I threw the box, and I think I got it on the Amazonian site or eBay. I can't remember. But either way, I mean, pretty darn cheap for a whole distributor, and it looks brand newish. So we're gonna throw that guy in, but before we do, we got to do a few things to save ourselves some headache and to speed up time. I actually went ahead and did what I needed done did. So I took out number one spark plug, making sure that this was on top dead center, and right down here in the crank, which you cannot see it all. I guarantee you can't see it because I didn't clean it that well. I couldn't reach it. But trust me, there's a line. Pardon me. There's a line, and I hope you guys can see this, that you have to line up with. Can you see that at all? How about, dang it, this is just terrible. Okay, so down here in your balancer, you have a one solid line, okay? Let me see if I can get some paint and put in there or something. That way so you guys can see it better. Give me just 1 second. All right, so I think I found a way to mark it. It's kind of sloppy, but maybe you can see it now. Darn it, man, there's just no big way to get you in there. Hold on a second. If we come in from this angle, huh? The good thing is the camera, okay, you might have to zoom in to see that, but there's numbers there and you want it lined up to 0, and there's a little tiny mark. You want that right there at 0. So that way, get back straight here. There we go. So that way, so you know you're on top dead center on the compression stroke. Another little rule is right here. Now, get out there. That is not at 0. So we are not on compression stroke, and I want to show you that is pointing all the way backwards. Good. This is just not. All right. Rotor button is not pointing back at 0. I hope you guys can see that. This crummy lighting, and just everything in the way. Rotor button's clear back at the firewall, so that tells me that we got to rotate the motor over again. Okay. Well, how you do that? You can either do it by having somebody bump the key over, or in this case, we take a 5/8 and 3/2 inch drive and we turn it over by hand. You should hear compression come out right here. Full discretion, I did not hear compression. I just was hoping. But it's probably good that, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and rotate it because I should have done better. Okay, so anyway, whenever you do have it in the right position, and this is how you know none of this is rehearsed, by the way, because that should have been pointing up here to number 1 cylinder. If that's pointing at number 1 cylinder, that's 0 marked with your line. You have, that's where your timing is right there. That's how you know you're at perfect top dead center, okay? And then you can rip out that distributor, put it back in the exact same way, and you should be good. But we'll get to that road here in a minute, okay? Step 12 in a 5-part series. Now that we have all of this the right way, hopefully you guys can see that. If not, it's just, there's no room. And this light blocks the camera blocks the light. Anyway, hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. You have a little indicator down there, and now we actually have it pointing to number 1. Okay, so we have all of that in cahoots. Okay, now what we have is to get this lockdown bolt that you probably can't see either. Golly jeez, he's right down in here, I promise you. I can't even see him right now. What's going on? There it is, right down in there, right next to the distributor. It's got a little hold down. That is a 14mm 9/16, however you want to put it. Usually there's a funky wrench. I had to use my 14mm stubby wrench to get it, because apparently I don't have a distributor wrench anymore because they're dinosaurs. Nobody has them. I'm gonna take it loose, then we're gonna pop this distributor out. Try to remember which way your distributor is setting close enough, okay? Like on this one, this is pretty much back at the firewall straight. So that's where we're going to try to get it, along with this guy aimed at number 1 cylinder, okay? It should, I don't even want to say it, it should go good. That's all I'm going to say. Wish me luck. We're going to take that bolt all the way out, or just take it loose and try to slide that lockdown plate. I'll show you hopefully more here in a few minutes. Just give me a few. All right, so remember the hold down I was telling you about? It's right there. Now I've already taken the distributor out, but right there is your hold down. That guy right there. You can loosen him up and you can slide him back, and while you're there, make sure you don't knock anything that's like loose dirt, leaves, all that other crap you saw back there down in your engine. It probably won't kill it, but it's, you know, I went ahead and took loose my distributor wires because they were just like being a hassle. You know what I mean? That, and I know where they go. So 1843652, you know, goes counterclockwise. Make sure you know that before you tear it apart. You know, I may have like goofed that up in the past, and like absolutely. But anyway, now if you pay attention to the way you took that out, this was kind of like straight-ish, and as it went in, because it has curved gears, it did this. It went right there. Actually, no, that's toward the back, just remember that. It was like this, and as it set in, it went tweak to number 1. Now that is going to be pointing toward your number 1 cylinder and the electrode on your cap. Okay, just remember that. We're going to set this burger down in there. Hopefully it takes one time. That'd be great. And we're going to roll with it. All right? And then hopefully this fixed the old no spark problem. We'll find that out too. But go ahead and look at your distributor cap and rotor button while you're there. As you can see, this is all, you probably can't see it, can you? My lighting tonight is just, anyway, that is pretty much a brand new cap and rotor. And I think it's an Excel. I don't know. But you can't see the rotor because it's still on the cap here. But anyway, that guy's in pretty good shape. You know, so we're probably going to end up keeping that for a rainy day, and for Toby out there if he needs one, because I don't know the shape on that one. Anyway, we're going to drop this thing in there. Hopefully she points at number 1. If I had better lighting or a better camera guy, I'd show myself doing this, but you know, it's kind of cramped spaces, so I'm gonna try to drop this down with this thing pointing semi-straight, and hopefully she'll line and just wiggle a little bit, get it down in the spot. Then you slide that collar that I showed you back over this. Do not lock it down yet. I'll explain to you why here in a few, okay? So just give me a few. Well, we got all the wires put back on. We have not tightened down the distributor. All we did was put that collar that I showed you up over that lip right there. The reason why we did not tighten it down yet is because we still need to do our timing. This is a computer controlled timing. What does that mean? That means you go to your firewall right here, and there's a, come here light. I'm gonna get good lighting on this guy. Right here on this firewall, in this pigtail, if I can get this darn thing straight up. Right here. See this guy? He's got a brown with a black tracer and brown with a black tracer. Whenever you go to set timing, you unplug this. Okay? Just like that, because it's stuck. Golly, jeez. Anyway, okay, so you unplug this, and then you do your timing as regular. You put your lead on number 1, you hook your leads to positive and negative, and you'll set that timing at 0 degrees. Why? Because the computer takes over the timing. You have to set it at 0. You're going to give yourself a lot of headache if you don't, I promise you. So, you know what? We should probably see if we've done this right, shouldn't we? Hopefully we got spark. We should. Even though we did no real testing, we replaced pretty much everything that could be it. The Hall effect switch goes bad in these like crazy. The Chevy trucks are known for it. Pretty much all of these late 80s, early to mid 90s trucks are known for it. So, safety first. Let's just see what we got. All the machine lives. Now, we need to set the correct timing. And we're going to do it just like I said. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not, but hopefully my timing light's even in here. I haven't used that thing in so many years. I'm actually gonna have to look for it. I don't even know where it's at. That's craziness. It used to be so common to use a test or a timing light. Now it's so rare. But what I want to get to is this. Whenever you are setting your timing, it's absolute crucial that you line up that same mark that you come up the top dead center with at 0 while you're setting your timing, while you're going back and forth. Then you lock down that distributor with that hold down collar with the 14mm bolt. Lock it down right there. Plug your wire back in, and bada boom, bada bang, to bang, you're done. So, as upset as I wanted to be that the iRock broke down, I can't be, because I've replaced everything in the ignition system now. And it broke down in the garage. What a better place to break down than in a garage. So, you know, rather than go through all the stuff that I was just telling you, okay, I'll find my timing light, we'll go through it, okay? Just give me a second. It took me longer to find this, yes, you're seeing it, Sears timing light, that I actually bought off a ex-coworker and friend, Dwayne. Dwayne to Double Welding, no. Dwayne Sites had that and he sold it to me years ago. Well, let's just run through on how to do this. Safety first, no safety switch, because still haven't made it to that level. But anyway, if you can hear me, then we're doing good. Oh, don't tell me you don't work anymore, fella. Come on now. You're only a bajillion years old. We're just gonna hope. It's not working. Are you kidding me? It worked like 15 years ago whenever I used it last. I kid you not. Oh my goodness. Is that something? Okay, so you're supposed to have it there. You're supposed to have it on your negativity. And then you're supposed to have it around this thing around wire number 1. And it's supposed to flash. Hey, there we go. And we are no way near where we need to be. We are too far advanced. So we're going to be able to tell by engine idle. Hear how it came down? We've only got a rattle in there, and we're still not there just yet. I bet we're low on power steering fluid. I'll bet you that right there is about it. That right there is 0. Shut her down, lock her down. Now, be careful not to move that distributor at all, hopefully. And add power steering fluid if you heard that little growl, because pretty sure that means I'm about out. It looks like the power steering pump's just throwing it everywhere. Well, that's at least not happy, and that's okay. This is not a permanent drivetrain anyway, so that's fine. But what we did, just exactly what I told you. We lined up the white line on the crank to the 0. We're tightening it down. And now you plug back in this connector. Don't try to time it with that plugged in. You won't have any success. Your computer's going to take over and do what it do. So without further ado, all I'm going to do is tighten down that, and this video is a wrap. Hopefully this helps you guys. Sorry I didn't get into the diagnostics of it all. One way to test this pickup coil under here is to actually, I guess I should have went through all this, but you know, I was kind of, you're aiming at the ceiling. Hold on a second. Don't give up on 80-year-old timing lights. Them things are still good. That's awesome. I seriously haven't used that thing in like 15 years or so. Okay, anyway. So testing this pickup coil here, you can unplug right here at the control module, and you can crank the motor, and you're supposed to have, I think, you guys have to look at, I think it's like 300 milliamps or something. It's not much. And I'll guarantee you if I check that, it didn't have any, because obviously the thing runs, and I've replaced everything else. So we're going to keep our cap. We're going to keep this guy right here. And the rest of it's just going to be junk. I mean, we could keep the shaft and all, since it's not, I don't know. We probably are not going to, because, you know, but we're going to keep our cap, our rotor button, and our control module there, because we know those are good. And we got the mullet machine back, so that's what's good. Now we can slowly start maybe getting back on track somewhere, back on this, so we can get this thing out of here for good. It's been a busy one. It's going to get busier, because the game plan is now, since this thing runs, actually we're going to fix the fans on it later to make them work to where they're supposed to. Somebody stuck a ground where they shouldn't have. Not me. It was like that when I got it. The car runs too cool. I want it to run correct. So I want the fans to turn on and off like they're supposed to. These are on all the time. In summertime, that's fine. Wintertime, you have no heat. I want to drive this car year round. So anyway, guys and gals, I hope this helps you out on some diagnosis. Make sure you have power to your coil. Me personally, I started with the coil first. It's right there, it's easier. I'm just going to be honest with you. Pickup coil's next, or I'm sorry, the control module is next, then the pickup coil, aka distributor. Now you can bust apart your distributor and replace that piece by itself. However, it was 89 bucks. I don't know how much that part is. It's probably like close to 70 just for that little round piece that goes bad in them, I'm gonna go ahead and just bite the wire and say, you know what, send me the whole darn thing for that kind of price. I believe that one was a Cardone. It works just fine. It's gonna be an early night, okay? So we're gonna lock that distributor down. We're calling it done. Thanks for watching, guys, gals. I hope this helps you. And we'll see you guys next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a great one.